Hello everyone, welcome back. We are now on episode 7 of the March of Russia campaign here in Napoleon Total War. And just a quick recap, the French decided to steal a section of the Austrian Empire right from under their noses. This area here, taken by the French Empire with assistance from the Spanish. Now, the Spanish army has moved on from this location and is currently walking down through the snowy areas of the Hungarian Empire, or the Hungary, the country of Hungary. And we have two armies who have been repurposed from the planned attack on the Ottoman Empire to assist in the recapturing of Vienna for our allies. So they are essentially laying in ambush, ready for this guy. Now, this guy, obviously, there's those two guys there. If he makes it round there, I'll be impressed. In which case, we can then attack him from the rear. Because who doesn't want that? Now, we'll just have to wait and see, because we're also, as a result of the requirements, you can see now, we are actually at war with the Ottoman Empire, requested by one of our allies to join the war. So you can see, who is it? Was it Prussia? No, it was not. Could it have been? I may have been the Austrians. There we go. French, Batavian, Italy, Spain. There we go. The Ottomans. So it was the Austrians who requested that we join the war against the Ottomans. So a lot of otters in there, really. So we've got this army here waiting on the outskirts, building up. We've got some cannons coming over from here. So there's 3 cannons, horsey artillery, moving over to reinforce that army. And we've obviously got a nice, relatively full army there with horsey artillery for speed and for adjustment to basically go in and start attacking the first areas of the Ottoman Empire. So that's the direction we're going with that. Now, I'm wondering if we should put that guy... Should we put them like there? No, we can't. We can't move them at all. So, it may very well be that we get to see the first actual battle of the series. So let's end the turn and see what... Okay, why has he just gone there? I don't understand why he decided to go there. Probably because he's already clicked on that route, but anyway, we'll see. Oh no, they brought in another large army in there, and they're really reinforcing Vienna. That could be a problem for us. Now, let's see. And, I thought he was going to stay there, but, you know, apparently not. I should have just clicked him there and kept him there, but never mind. Mistake by me. Now, it could still be possible for us to ambush this guy. Remember the Spanish, and there we have it. 2,700 against 6,000, and it is Kutuzov. So it's time for a punch-up. Oh! Worked out better than I'd hoped. A nice ambush situation. They are fully surrounded, so it will be a matter of how we decide to set up the troops to best support this attack. Now, here is the enemy. Here are our troops. Let us set these guys up here. And then we'll move them up to there and then basically use them as artillery practice. We'll get all these guys here to stretch out like so. We'll bring the horsey here so that they can basically charge in from the rear. And stretch those forces out. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay. Now, over here, we have additional forces. Let's see, should we just keep them there? I think we might. We might do that, actually. Okay. Let battle commence. Right, boys and girls. Get into position. Whoa. Square. Oh, squared. No, they can't square.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Really? Okay. Get the general back out of the way. Let's bring in the cavalry. Where's our cav? Here we go. Let's get him on the general staff. Get them all into position. Them as well. Hello, General. Not going as ideal as I would have liked, but you know. Let's get these guys back here.
Our men are running, sir.
Probably not surprising. Oh boy. Get into a square, fellas. Come on. Keep it together, lads. Right, where's our Clippity-Clops? Enemy general is dead. Get them in the square as well, just in case, because of the cav. Where's the arty? Get them unlimbered. Get these guys down to assist here. Like that. They can close in from all directions. Get in there and stab all of them, please. Oh, yes, get in there and definitely stab all of them. Especially these cannons. Let's get the lancers over to support on the right side. Let's get these guys here to move up even further. There we go, they're all starting to flee. All looking good. Move them up. Get those guys in there like that.
Glorious victory,
And there we go, complete surrounding. Complete with our cannons up the top. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Run them all down, boys. Run them all down. What are these boys doing here? Don't kill all of them, please. Where are you guys going? Get them, fellas. Oh, brutal. The Swiss Grenadiers are in deep, deep doo-doo. Bring them there. And there you have it. Well, that went better than I thought. Heroic victory. That doesn't sound great. How many people did I lose? Oh, I killed 2,400 of their men. Holy crapola. And I lost 500 of my own. So that wasn't too bad under the circumstances, I'd say. So oh, hello. Reinforcements. So he has basically just taken a massive battering. We've just killed his general. And we've also now unlocked mass mobilization as well. So let's go up and see here. And let's bring up. So this army here has not taken any kind of damage. So let's go in. There's no point doing that because it's just one. So we've now wiped out that entire army. And this army is now in the process of recovering its numbers. So let's take it over to here. And these two armies can now work together. So there we go. Beschwoden General. Confident General. Good man. Trait gained. Attacking General. Also great. Nation destroyed. The Grand Duchy of Oldenburg is no more. And mass recruitment. So these are the 3 horse artillery that I want. Is it there? Where was it again? No, it was here, wasn't it? Sorry, silly me. So there's the 3 horse arty. And they're going to go in for these guys. So they'll be there in a couple of turns. And then that army is ready to go along with this army. So the next turn will be good to go in that regard. Now, this army here, relatively big. Now, this army needs to recover some of its numbers. Obviously, you can see a few regiments lost quite a few people, but generally speaking, I think they're going to be okay. And obviously this army as well, suffering numbers-wise as well, but the point is we can then use them to move in together onto this point, and this is the problem, look. We're probably going to need another army up there now to deal with that problem. And so, let's send this army to attack here. There we go, and then we'll send them over to attack there. So, as you can see, 3,400 men against our 5,000. So, let's go and see how this gets on. So, this is going to be a siege, essentially. And we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. God, I haven't done Napoleon Total War battles for so long. I'm forgetting the UI and all the rest of it. I'm so used to Rome 2 and yeah, I know, I'm terrible. Okay, so here we are. Now, this is a good spot over here, possibly for arty. Now, we could have one arty over here. And then another arty. Another 2. Over here like that. So that means they could get a nice crossfire of...
Damn this weather, sir. Wet powder makes misfires a certainty.
Should make things quite interesting. We'll also put cavalry... How far can we get the cavalry over to the right? We can't get them any further. Okay. So, Jaegers. Putting them in their wide mode. And let's have them stretched out like so. So there we go. There's the Jaegers. Now they're going to be supported by these guys. So essentially, they're going to sit behind the Jaegers and support them and give them safety when the Jaegers need to run. As indeed they may very well. So we're going to set them to control 2. And we're going to set these guys to control 1. So that we can control them a lot easier. Now, these guys will be sort of flank control. And we'll also try and protect the artillery if need be. Now, we've obviously got another artillery over here. So there's the Lancers. And we'll put this army here. And then we'll put them in a square in front of the artillery. Because that will help protect them. So, now the advantage obviously of these guys all spread out. They'll shoot and then they'll kneel. So that the guys behind them can then shoot over their heads. Or at least that's the plan. Here is the general. We'll have the general on the hill. And then we will fight the battle. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys here. Run down the side. And sit in the woods around the back here. Now the reason for that is then we can get them in behind the enemy and essentially do a number on them. But the places to hide them are limited. So, number 1, unlimber gentlemen please. And we'll have these guys here go into square formation. And we'll have these guys just sit on the left flank even. Now, are they coming towards us? No, they're not. So we will have to go towards them. And obviously, when they are in this formation, they'll stay in this formation. Because we've locked it like that. So let's put these guys here. And then into a square. And we'll keep them all walking. We don't want them working too fast. See, this is the problem we're going to have, is these cannons. They're going to do a number on these guys here. So, that's what we got to watch for. But the artillery does not have the range that it needs to hit those guys. Now, it could be because it's... because of these guys here. Let's move these guys up. Because it might be, if we can get this guy out of there, we can attack them from the rear. And we could also then potentially move the cavalry up to attack these guys on the flanks. Now, if we were to move these guys here, like that, actually we want them sort of there, and then move these guys behind to support them in case they need to run, and then we'll take these 2 guys here, unlimber them, and then we'll move them up to here so that they can then essentially attack. So these guys are now unlimbering. We'll get these guys up here as well. Take them out of square and have them support that area. So here you can see our troops covering the line. You've got these artillery engaging them. And we've got, there we go, so there's the fire coming in. Here we go. Here comes some armed populace. So what we might have to do is just get these guys to run just quickly to get them into the right position. We'll put these guys over here. And now these guys have unlimbered. We can bring them over to here and move them in artillery there. Now these guys can move up slightly. In fact, we'll highlight both of them. Move them up there so they can be ultra aggressive. Now these guys, literally, all they're doing is they're just holding their attention and trying to essentially shoot back at the enemy and hold them in position. Now these guys here need to run into position before those auto get there. So they need to make the horses move fast, and we'll have the general here. In fact, we'll put the general here. Now, if we move those horses into there, then they have the potential to attack. So, we've now blocked off this spot for the artillery to then fire over the top and into the flanks of these guys. So, here we go. Let's move them up just a little bit so they're not under the barrel of the artillery. As I pause to cough, let's check to see how our central line is doing. Our central line is holding. You can see the forces are spread out a little bit, but they are doing okay. Unlimber, and let's get them firing. We'll check over on the other side here. You can see this line here is not really under any kind of serious pressure, and the artillery is not really either. Now it could be, what we could do, see the thing is we could move the artillery to here, but I don't know if the artillery would have enough range to be able to hit them. Now there we go, you can see that the artillery is now being armed and loaded. And these guys now can work together. There we go. So these guys can now essentially, you can see them coming under a bit of fire. So we're just going to move them around there so that they can respond with equal ferocity onto the enemy. These guys are now being shelled. We've got these guys hiding, ready to move in. And what we might also do is have these guys hiding in there as well. So here you can see it looks like the Ottomans have broken, so we're going to move our big line up like that to continue to force the issue. Meanwhile, these guys are firing into that lot, and they're also under artillery fire as well. We've got these fellas as well. Let's move these guys up. So you can see literally the forces are routing pretty badly right now. These guys need to stay. I thought I'd selected them wrong. These guys are doing a great job of basically pummeling the artillery. Now, what we might do is we might send these guys round the side here.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack.
Okay, General. Where are you? Not sure why he's under attack. Let's stick him in cover. So if we move these cavalry round the side here, we could then move them to attack all these guys here. But predominantly, their general. And if we can get in and hit him hard from 2 directions, there's a good chance we could finish off the general completely. At the same time, our forces are doing a good job of holding the line against the Ottomans.
Our men are running, sir.
What? Why are they running? Who are they running? Okay, so that'll be the Jaegers probably coming under fire. So, let's see. Right, okay, here we go. Get him. Where's the other cavalry? There they are. So if we send the cavalry there after that lot, and this cavalry after that lot, to try and break them, then we can both hit the general from the rear, which would be wonderful, but not for him. There we go, and smack bang into that lot. These guys continuing to hold the line. These guys doing a great job of holding the line. Look at that, standing and fighting. Fantastic stuff. Let's get these guys up to try and get into range a little bit further. So there we go, we've hit the general from that side. We bring in this guy. So these guys are losing, probably. There we go. Let's get them out of that scrim so that we can essentially push in. We'll tell these guys to stop firing because we don't want them to shoot any of our troops. Now, let's see, because... yeah, those guys are in trouble.
Glorious victory, sir. Will soon be yours.
I hope so. Now, what I want to do is I want to highlight all of those guys and bring them up. Even closer. So, looks like the horses have dealt with them. Oh no, they're still dealing with this lot. That's unfortunate. Get out of there. I don't want them there anymore. But, on the plus side, we do have these fellas to finish off that lot. Go on, get them.
Our men are running, sir.
So we do have some reinforcements. Looks like our cavalry is running. Oh well. So at least we've got some reinforcements coming in from the side here. So what we might do is run them around the side here. And attack from the rear. Meanwhile, the general's under sustained attack. In fact, let's bring this guys in here to attack their general. In the meantime, let's see, there we go, they're all breaking.
Our men are running, sir.
Who's running? Yeah, the horses, understandable. They're up against the general, so. But saying that, These guys are still firing back. No, they're running for some reason. Get them into there. Hello, boys. So, let's see. There's more there. Let's see, can we run them down? Or at least deal with them in some way. Let's move these guys up and then we can maybe drive them in towards a square. That might be worth doing, because if we can drive them towards an anti-cavalry square, that's pretty much death as far as those guys are concerned. Let's get those guys out because they're now being supported, or at least being pushed up on. Let's keep these guys here. Move them into a position so they can fire back at the enemy. Move these guys back out of the way of these guys, because we want them to be able to fire back.
Our men are running, sir.
Ah, damn it, the cavalry's broken. Bloody cav. There we go, hopefully we can break these guys down fast. Now, if these guys want to run into our troops, that's entirely up to them, but it will be an absolute brutality if they do. Let's move all these guys to there and run them in quickly. Yeah, they've changed their mind. Yeah, I didn't expect that. They've now broken. Now, all that remains is these guys here. And what's over here? Let us... No, let's unlimber them. And then use these guys. No, they're just firing at them. Oh, brutal. Get them, fellas. Should break that lot. Who's this, fellas? Okay, missionaries? No, missionary. Musketeers or something along those lines. Let's relimber them. Now, that force has been vanquished. Let's move these guys in. Take them out of that mode and get them to support the rest of our boys. Let's bring them up into the square. Excuse me. These guys still alive. Let's bring these guys in fast. Let's put them all across there like that. They can engage the enemy. Now, let's relimber these guys, and then we'll move them up bring them here, and use them to engage the enemy general. So they've all run. The enemy general is borderline running. We'll get them into position quickly. What we might do actually is bring these guys around the back here, like that. Then we can engage them from both sides. There we go, in there like that. Get the Jaegers to attack them. Move these guys up to here. There's our arty friends. There we go, bring them in there. No, actually we don't want to do that. We want to bring them there. And then there. No, we don't want to do that either. We want to bring them there because otherwise they'll be susceptible to the cannon, the spikes in the ground. So, these guys can now move up on the general. And they can be supported by these guys. Oh, hello, fellas. Have a square. And you guys can have a square too. And they can all have a square. And the general dies right at the end of the battle. Yeah, that went better than expected. Definitely went better for me than it did for the Ottomans, but that was kind of the point. Let's have a look. Deployed 3,000. Oh God, he lost them all. Holy crack! And he only killed 171 of my people. For some reason, a lot we lost to. Lost to friendly fire, I'm guessing. So, more units recruited, and I think that's going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed a slightly longer episode than usual, and we shall see you again very soon for more Napoleon Total War. See you later.